Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon and Ascendant for the month of July. Hope you're all well. If you don't know what your moon or ascendant signs are, have a look in the description box below. There's a link down there that will help you find your birth chart for free. And then you should come back and watch the videos for your moon and ascendant signs, because they'll give you a better idea of what's going on with you overall than you might get from just your sun sign. I want to take the opportunity to thank all of those wonderful souls who have come over to Patreon to support me. It means a lot to me because I put everything that I've got into these videos. This is not something that I do for, shits and giggles. I genuinely believe in what I do. So to have people come over there and show that they believe in what I do too is, well, makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. I'll just put it that way. So thank you again from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate every single one of you. Now, believe it or not, the 7th of July sees my first anniversary of getting on YouTube. I cannot believe that an entire year has gone past. It's I remember my abject terror when I uploaded my first set of videos very, very clearly. But a year it has been, so here we are. And I'd like to celebrate, because I think it's worthy of celebrating. So I'm not going to do, I'm going to do a live stream, but I'm not going to do it on the 7th because that's a Tuesday and that's a shit night for a party. So I'm going to do it on the 5th, which is the Sunday instead. It's already scheduled, so for 7 PM GMT +1. I'm going to do some card readings. I'm going to limit it to like one question, one card, and see what comes up, just so we can get through as many people as possible, because I know people like to have their readings live and whatnot. I think I'll do like a competition and win some stuff. I don't know what. I'll come up with something by then, no doubt. And just sort of hang out and have a celebrate. So if you're interested in that, come join me. I'd love to have you. And I think that's it. Oh, Mars is going into Aries as of today. And what I read is that the second half of 2020 is going to be nothing compared to... No, the first half of 2020 is going to be nothing compared to the second half, while Aries is sitting in Mars. So buckle up, bitches, I think is probably the way to look at that. Anyway, let's get you some cards. What's going on with Aries, please, for July? 3 cards for Aries. There's the first one, with Ace of Pentacles. That's cool. About current energy for Aries. Oh, is that what I think it is? It is the Emperor. Love it. That is your card in the Major Arcana, Aries, numbered 4. Very powerful position for it to be sat in, actually. I love it for you. I think you might actually be the first sign that I've done a reading for this month who has turned up so strongly in their own reading, straight off. I haven't done Leo or Scorpio yet, and they usually present quite strongly, but this is really good for you. So, what's coming towards Aries, please? Not taking all of those. 4 of Swords, 6 of Swords, Empress. Let's see if they want to come out again. What's coming towards Aries, please? 10 of Wands. Okay, that's cool. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the 9 of Cups, and I really, really like that for you, Aries, because it means you're starting to get very fucking clear about what it is that you want. The 9 of, all the 9s actually speak to me of the individual, the self, right? So it's how you manage your resources, it's how you set your own boundaries, or in the case of the 9 of Cups, it's how you understand what it is about that makes you happy, and taking responsibility for your own happiness, not like, abdicating it to anybody else, because in the doing of that you lessen your own power. I think it's something that you know. So just get some clarifiers and then we'll get on with this. So there's the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles here for Aries, please. We've got Temperance there, card of Sagittarius in the Major Arcana. I like that. Oh, we've got the Knight of Wands and the Fool have jumped out together. Oh, I like that too. Right, let's see. Yeah. 6 of Swords. That came out in the main deck. Well, tried to. It's one of the ones that I put back. So obviously wanted to come out, and then there you are at the bottom. Where's the Emperor here? Really? That's shitloads of cards. All of these. We've got the Fool again. There are 2 Fools in this deck, interestingly. The 4 of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. Lots of notions of self-worth and family and home and new starts, right? Fresh ground to tread, which is where you like to be. And also the Magician is there, which is a very powerful card of manifestation. Seems like you're taking control of a lot of things, right? Let's just try for one card. One card for the Emperor. What's that here for Aries, please? Ooh, is that what I think it is? Oh, no, it's not. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Well, that's still cool. I like that. So, let's have a look at this Ten of Wands. Where's this Ten of Wands here for Aries, please? Got the Hanged Man. Okay. And the Five of Cups in reverse. Ooh, I like that. Got a Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. For you, I feel like that's having an idea and running with it. Yeah, it's a... It's swift motion, but it's self-expression as well. It's like you're finding your voice in some way. Anyway. Ace of Pentacles is in your recent past, and this is an opportunity, as all the aces are. When they present, you know, they represent the full potentiality of the suit, but in order to do something with that, you have to pluck it from where it is, and you have to run with it. You have to get to the 2 and the 3 and all that sort of thing. It can be a new job, it could be a promotion, it could be, you know, a new house. It is in some way an opportunity to improve your material circumstances in some way, and that doesn't need to be financial, right? It can be something else that has a tangible effect, measurable effect on your life. This is in your recent past. This is something that has been presented to you, and I feel like you've taken it, because the cards that we have to clarify are Temperance, card of Sagittarius, then we have the Knight of Wands, which is also a card of Sagittarius, and then we have you as the Fool, right? First card in the deck, first sign in the zodiac. Whatever this the Ace of Pentacles and the Fool obviously talk about new starts. They talk about ground that you have not trodden before, and as Aries, you are built for exactly that job, right? You don't take the path that has been trodden by other people. You trailblaze, right? So an opportunity came up for you in the recent past, and I think that you took it because you've got this here. But then we've got the Temperance card. Now, it doesn't mitigate the power of this in the slightest, because it talks about healing and balance and patience and divine timing, and sometimes some kind of divine orchestration, actually. But it feels, it in some way tempers the energy of these 2 cards a little, right? Rather than you being feisty and headstrong about something, I think that actually, for a change, rather than doing something new for the sake of it, you actually sat back and contemplated this a little bit. You know, you exercised a level of patience with it. Kind of stuck your toe in the water, as it were, even before you decided to leap on it as an opportunity. Because that's what the Knight of Wands does, right? He sees an opportunity and he seizes it. And then when you've got a card that speaks of an opportunity, that's a cool thing. But I feel like there was a level of thought that went into it beforehand, culminating in the Fool, right? Something new for you. Now, this could be work related, or it could be something entirely different. You've got to fill in the blanks, because it's a general reading for a lot of people, right? take the bones of the message and see where it applies to you. Now, in your current energy, you've got the Emperor, and I love to see this because obviously it is your card, but it's also a very strong card to have in your present energy anyway, because it speaks about discipline and self-control and self-reliance, as well as the ability to strategize and think ahead, control those things that need controlling, really, because the Emperor's got an empire that needs to be run. It feels like you taking control of your life in a way that you have not been able to prior to this. Maybe it's as a result of this opportunity that came in. That's possible. Or it could be indicative of a more general approach that you're taking to everything. Maybe you're sitting in this energy here now because this opportunity arose. Did I say that backwards? I can't even remember right. But whatever it is, you're feeling in control of things at the moment, and that's no small feat with the way that the world is at the moment, where everybody feels a lack of control with their environment and surroundings and circumstances. But you in here, you know what you're doing. I like this for you. Now, interestingly, the two cards that came out to clarify are the Six of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. The Six of Swords talks about moving away from something that is troublesome into calmer waters, right? We'll always see this. Two figures in the boat. Interestingly, in the Rider-Waite, you usually have a man who is, I don't know what it's, poling the boat out. I don't know what that thing's called. It's not an oar, but it's a pole, right? And there are, a couple sat in there. It's usually a woman and a child huddled together, looking very sad. But somebody else is taking you away from that situation. In this card, there are just you and the child in the boat, right? So whatever it is that you're doing, it's been under your control. It's not been somebody else coming in to kind of assist you or help you or do whatever. You've done this. Now, this could be physically leaving a situation. That's possible. Leaving a partner, leaving a job, leaving something, right? But it could be something a little less tangible than that, right? This could talk about thought patterns and thought processes, because the swords are all about communication, whether that's internally or externally expressed. So how we talk to other people, how they talk to us, or how we think, how we talk to ourselves in our heads. There's some notion of some of that being left behind, right? So maybe you have dropped self-limiting thought patterns. Maybe you've dropped that little voice that knitters at you and kind of, constantly undermines what it is that you're trying to achieve. Whatever it is, something's been left behind, and it's left you feeling incredibly empowered as a result. Now, the Knight of Pentacles here, for me, the Page, the Knight, and the Queen all talk about differing levels of valuing something, right? It's different when we get to the King, but for those three stages, it's about seeing that pentacle and whatever it represents to you. And it's a resource of some description. So that could be money, or it could be your time, your care, your effort, or how you value yourself. And take it as it resonates to you. But whatever it is, you know the value of something, and you are now moving. Let's put more movement in this card. Looking to protect this thing and get it intact to a different location, right? Just pull one more card for us. I'm kind of nosy. The Knight of Pentacles, please. Well, okay then. What's come out is the Five of Swords in reverse and the Six of fucking Swords again. Look, there's that dude, right? Gondolaring him around. The Five of Swords, it talks about a mismatch in communication in some regard. So you could see it as somebody who, verbally spars with you, somebody who will say literally anything to win, and you kind of just put your swords down and fuck off, because it's absolutely not worth your fucking effort trying to reason with someone who is committed to misunderstanding you, right? That's the thing. But the fives talk about a shift, a change of some description. Quite often that is uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be. So it could be somebody ghosting you, or you ghosting someone else, or it could be where you have not spoken to someone in a long time, them then getting in touch and it being awkward and difficult, and you don't really want to fucking talk to them, you know, because there's that shift. And being swords, it's about the communication, right? I think the most stabilizing thing you can do with a 5 energy is to invert it, right? Because the card itself speaks about shifting and changing. So this is stopping it from shifting and changing, right? And how have you done it? You've done it by moving away from it. So whether this was a toxic, friendship or relationship, or, family relationship, something like that, right? Rather than indulging in it, rather than being pushed to a point of frustration, you kind of reached a point where you go, I'm out, dude. I'm not doing this. I value my own personal sovereignty, my peace, all of these things above, massaging your ego by joining in with whatever, I just heard the word narcissistic supply. That's going to, ring some bells with a few of you. Rather than indulging in this and giving you what you want, right? It's a very powerful thing to do. And it's come because you value something more than you value this, right? Now, what you've got coming towards you in July is the 10 of Wands. Don't panic about this, right? Because it is a card of bird. It is a card of doing things, of things being too hard, right? But it is also a 10, and 10s signify the end of a cycle. So where something has been burdensome, where something has been giving you difficulty, this signifies it's very close to ending, right? It's going to end in July. The other thing that I see with this card, more often than not, is that sometimes it speaks to me about not doing things in the smartest way you could have done, right? There are these 10 wands here, but did this crow really need 10 wands, right? Did the crow take on too much because it overestimated its ability to cope, or it didn't foresee, intervening events that would make it difficult? Did it think that there was a benefit to kind of exhausting itself? Because ultimately at the end it would have 10 wands. Did it need 10? Could it have coped with 8 or 6 or 5? Did it have to take them all in one go? Or could it have taken 5 and then come back for the other 5? Could it have taken 3, come back, got a crow friend, and transported the rest between them, pacing themselves a little better than they are? Somewhere in July, you're going to see that. Because I feel like both apply, actually. Something is burdening you, and actually the way that you've been trying to deal with it is not the smartest way you could have done it, right? For whatever reason. You're already moving away from other things that have been taxing you in some way, and maybe moving away from this is giving you the space to look at something else and going, oh, do you know what, that fucking exhausts me as well, right? Because what we've got here is the Hanged Man and the 5 of Cups. Now the Hanged Man is all about changing your perspective on something. So whatever this is, how this is hard, it's talking about changing your perspective on it, right? Maybe the benefit that you foresaw actually is not going to come to pass, right, in the way that you thought it would. That's a possibility. Maybe you did not realize how much work something would be, right? That's a possibility. But in the month of July, you're kind of getting an opportunity to re-look at this and streamline it, right? We're going for wisdom here, which, remember, is the application of knowledge. So knowledge and information coming to you in some way that allows you to kind of look at this situation again and go, I'm sure I can be asked with that, actually. It's not really doing anything for me, right? Becoming enlightened off the back of it. This 5 of Cups, interestingly, more 5 energy, more disruptive energy. The 5 of Cups is talking about focusing on those things that are lost, right? Those things that you don't have, and failing to notice the things that you do. It's getting caught up, right? And when you're in this state, right, it's very difficult to see out of it at all. It's a process as much as anything else, and you have to kind of honour the process, and then at some point step back from it, at which point you can see that there were, you know, more than 3 cups. There are still 2, and like, well, fuck, I lost 3, but, you know, accepting and moving on. The fact that this card has come out this way round is feeling like a level of acceptance, accepting that things have gone. It's about taking that step back. It's stabilizing that energy again, right? Stepping back from it. I lost something, but something still remains. And actually, do you know what? I've cleared a space for new things to come through. Now, when we have these cards all together, and they do feel like they're really, you know, very closely linked, got something that you had been focusing on, which it's kind of like you were focusing on the wrong aspect of it. In July, what happens is you allow it to, you permit yourself to see it for what it actually is. You change your perspective on it, right? And you realize that it's too hard, it's too burdensome, that whatever it is actually doesn't need to be there at all, right? You need to reframe your focus on something else, something productive for you that is going to bear fruit in a way that this 10 of Wands situation is not ever going to do, right? I'm going to leave it there. There is an extended. If you're interested in that and this has resonated, the link is in the description box. But if this is where we part ways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Right? Take care.